Okay, today we are doing crustaceans, whales, and we're going to talk about whales as a group, tooth and baleen, but then we're going to start breaking those down, and we're going to talk about toothed whales, the three different types. There's a number of them, but we're going to talk about three different ones. And then you can stop, and then on tomorrow is Living History Day, so we will not have science, but then Monday we will pick up with baleen whales. So you're going to want to answer your questions down to the bold heading that says baleen whales, and I think it lists three different whales that are baleen whales. So Monday will be an easy class, and then you'll have some video to watch also. Okay? So that's a minute of your time that you will never get back right there. All right, here we go. You know, you're the only person in the world that cannot use a pencil trimmer. Well, okay, I'm sorry. We have decided, 6 months ago, the pencil trim was broke, right? Right? We've discussed that a number of times. So why do we wait till we come to this class to need to trim our pencil? Every classroom you're in has a pencil trimmer that works more than likely. No, you're right. I don't know. There's something. The gears are slipping or something in that thing. It's just wore out. I've got some extra ones right back, Leo. I got some up there if you want to get you one. Okay. Same thing every day. All right, here we go. Whales and dolphins are called
Cetaceans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cetaceans. No, I'm going to do it because there's a lot of writing today.
Thank you, John Morgan.
You're welcome. All right. Why? Why do we just have the urge to start talking? See the arms? See these arms? All right. Whales and dolphins are not fish, but aquatic mammals. Not mammals, aquatic mammals. That's what I want you to put down. Okay? They are aquatic mammals. Okay? Like humans and other mammals, they breathe air with lungs. They are warm-blooded. Okay? They're a mammal. Okay? Cetaceans are intelligent animals. They possess a relatively large brain. Remember the shark and the fish when we looked at the anatomy of them? And their brains was like that big? Okay, like little pea brain. These guys, they got a brain. It is massive compared to ours. It is massive. Okay? Highly intelligent animals. They communicate with each other by voice, which is noises that are made by forcing air through their nasal passages. And since sound travels better underwater than it does in the air, they can be heard hundreds of miles away. So they can communicate hundreds of miles away because they are obviously very loud and the sound travels better underwater. Yes.
Do you want me to scroll?
No, I'm going to do it because there's a lot of writing today for you guys. Okay? So every now and then I've got to run over and scroll up because there's a lot of writing, and these folks, I don't want them to be trying to scroll and write and everything.
Can you just leave it for a minute?
I can just leave it there for a minute. But you got to write fast because we're not going to leave the same thing up for 5 and 10 minutes at a time, okay? So write fast. Fast.
I'm gonna have to get 5 for seasons.
You do. Today you probably need to have 5 on that and 5 on tooth well, so you'll be good.
I put notes down on
All right.
Can I have my topic back?
We'll go up just a little bit here. Okay? Each one of these animals has its own kind of sound. I mean, think about it. Us as people, various regions of the United States, you have different types of accents and things, right? Throughout the world, people sound differently. So it's not that hard to think that, these guys sounds different. They don't all sound the same. Okay? The different breeds will have different sounds and things. Okay? So, to us, they might sound like clicks, whistle, moans, or rumbles. Okay? Kind of like you guys coming in the mornings. Okay? Besides that, they talk to one another a lot, especially when they are in a group swimming underwater. Okay? Whales and dolphins are very social animals, and they will travel in groups. Okay? And sometimes the groups can be very large, Braxton. Let's act like we have some upbringing here. Okay? Okay? Now, whales and dolphins can detect objects in their surrounding by using sonar-like systems. Okay? They send out waves and can locate objects by returning echoes. Remember we talked about that before. If I had that ability and I sent out an echo system and it hit Morgan, and it would bounce back to me, and then I sent one out that hit Savannah, I could tell Savannah was further away because it would take longer for it to come back to me. That's how that works. Okay? All right. The system is so precise that they have trained dolphins. You know, they work with dolphins. They train dolphins and things. They have actually blindfolded dolphins and thrown things in the water for him to retrieve. And he could use his echolocation to go find it and bring it back to them.
That's cool.
Okay? Yeah, that is pretty cool. Okay? All right. Okay. Now we're going to talk about whales in general, and then we'll break it down where we're talking about different types of tooth and different types of baleen. But right now we just want to talk about toothed whales in general. Then we'll talk about baleen whales in general, and then, like I say, we'll break it down and talk about some of the different ones. Toothed whales today, baleen whales on Monday. Okay. Whales are divided into two groups, just in case you hadn't noticed me saying tooth and baleen a bunch. You know? They are toothed whales and baleen whales. Toothed whales mean they got teeth. Baleen whales means they have baleen. And we'll talk about what baleen is in a few minutes. Yes, ma'am? There probably is. In fact, if you look over there in one of those drawers, there's all kinds of notebook paper over there. Help yourself. Okay. You can tell we're getting up near the end of the year. I'm providing pencils and notebook paper more and more every day. Yes. That's okay.
Are we taking 3 notes on each? 5 notes on
Each section. Just each section.
So 5 notes on whales, 5 notes on
Toothed whales and 5 notes on baleen whales. Okay? But we've got a lot more tooth and baleen whales to go over. Okay? Toothed whales, which are smaller and more common, have peg-like teeth. Braxton, if you do not start behave, I'm going to have to remove you from my class. Okay? And I don't want to do that, but I will. That's twice I've had to call you down today. Okay? I'm not calling you down for the 3rd time. Okay? They have peg-like teeth. The teeth enables a whale to prey on fish, squid, and other large marine animals. Sperm whales, orcas, and dolphins are all toothed whales. Believe it or not, a dolphin actually falls into the category of a whale. Okay, he falls into that category. Okay, he is a small toothed whale. I know, you don't think about that, do you? Toothed whales have just one blowhole on the top of their head. Okay, so a toothed whale only has one blowhole. Baleen whales actually will have 2. Okay? Because baleen whales are larger. They're the bigger of the whales. Okay? Got screw. Everybody got that? I will come back if we need to. going to talk about baleen wells. Okay, this is baleen right here, all this right here, but we're going to talk a little bit. I got some better pictures of what I would show you. Okay, baleen wells are the larger, less common than tooth wells. Okay, baleen wells have no teeth in their mouth. Instead, they have this fringe of stuff that comes down from their upper jaw, and it's called baleen, and it can be a foot thick, and it's almost like really coarse hair. Okay, and it hangs all the way down. It can be up to 9 feet long on some of these wells. Okay, and what they do, the way they eat, they open their jaws, they fill their mouth and throat with water, they then force the water back out through the baleen, and it strains, lets the water out, but all the krill, plankton, small fish, anything that has been caught up, gets caught on the backside of the baleen, and then he takes his great big old tongue, and he goes, and he licks it clean. And then he swallows, and that's how he eats.
Oh.
Yes?
It's kind of like that, the green thing is called a strainer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You pour that in there,
Yep.
and then all the water.
Everything runs down, but what you're
runs
trying
down
to say,
like the stuff.
like you make spaghetti or something, you pour it out, and it holds the noodles. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's kind of the way, that's a good analogy right there. Okay? The baleen whales have 2 blowholes on the top of their head. Okay? Blue whales, which is the biggest animal in the world, humpback whales, and right whales are baleen whales. So the bigger whales are actually baleen. So the biggest animals in the world eats primarily little krill and plankton and small fish and things like that.
Welsh.
Okay? Yeah, the biggest animals in the world eats the smallest animals in the world, and eats tons of it every day. Yes?
Oh, is it BALEAN or is it?
E-E-N.
BALEEN.
Yep.
Because
Oh, no,
It's right there.
I know, but on the sheet it has it BAL.
It's a typo. It's a typo. It's just a typo on the
So
sheet.
it's supposed to be EEN.
It doesn't, yeah, it should be E-E-N. It's just a typo though.
Okay.
Okay? It's not a trick question, it's just a typo. Fingers got going faster than my brain. That's all it was. Okay. Yeah, that was it. Okay, let me move it up a little bit.
Yeah, I see it. I see it on another thing as DEN.
It's just a typo. That's all it was. You're going to come across that your whole life. If you read enough, you're going to find where somebody made a boo-boo. Okay? A whale with its blowhole on top of its head. Now this is pretty interesting. You can see right here, we're talking about God in the details. This is amazing right here. Okay? He has this blowhole on top of his head. Okay? He has a separate tube leading from its mouth to its stomach. Okay, think about you. We do too, but they're right there together, right? You got a tube that runs to your stomach, and then you got the ones that runs to your lung. Have you ever taken a sip of water or something, and they go down the wrong pipe, and you come up sputtering and coughing? Yeah. Well, you would think about that. If he was set up like that, and he was taking all of this water in,
He would die.
he would drown. It would fill his lungs. And he's a mammal, so he would actually drown. So when God created this beautiful creature, he went, okay, different plan. So this is what he comes up with. And this is pretty stinking cool. This tube is not connected to his lungs at all. Okay, the one that goes to his mouth and his stomach, or to his stomach, is not connected to his lungs. A whale's lungs and mouth have a totally different design from any other mammal. So there is no danger of him choking and drowning when it opens its mouth underwater to eat and swallow food. The water can only get into its lungs through a blowhole, and of course when he goes underwater, he shuts it really, really tight so water can't get in. And then when he surfaces to take air, the first thing he does as he's opening that up is he blows out air to help clear it, and not let it get into his lungs. That's why he blows all that water out.
That's so cool.
Okay? It is cool. Okay? The end of a whale's tail is called a fluke. Okay? And the whale uses its fluke to steer when it is moving through the water. It also uses its tail for power when it swims. Okay, interestingly enough, a whale will move their tails up and down in order to power their swimming. Okay, think about how a fish's tail is set up where he's doing this. Okay? A whale is this. He's up and down.
That's weird.
Okay, that's the way he's designed. His tail doesn't look like this. It's here. Okay? That's how he moves. Okay? Got a screw. So it swims by moving its tail. A fish moves by moving its tail side to side. The whale's up and down. Okay? Okay? Now, whales also have a thick layer of fat under their skin called blubber. Okay? And well, I would hope you would know that. I mean, it's pretty common knowledge. Okay? In some species, the blubber can be up to 2 feet thick.
Wow.
I like that. It's pretty thick. That's a lot of fat. Okay? At my heaviest, I don't think I had that much fat. Although, no. Whales migrate an incredible distance every year. Okay? They often summer in the cool waters like those in the polar regions. Okay? Where there's plenty of food. So every summer, thousands of whales will head up towards the cooler water, eating tons of food each day, which of course increases their stores of blubber, and they will need this extra blubber for the winter when they head back down to warmer water. Okay? So it helps to keep them warm. Now, the Eskimos, which is probably politically incorrect now, but the Eskimos, when they would go out whaling and they would kill a whale, they were kind of like the Native Americans and the buffalo. They used all of it. They used the blubber for stuff. They used the oils. They used the skin. The meat, obviously. They used the bones for tools and things. So they used every bit of it. And they didn't just go out and kill for the pleasure. They killed it when they needed it. It's not like the Native Americans did the buffalo. Okay.
But nowadays, you have people killing just
Well,
for
you
no-
did. We almost wiped these magnificent creatures off the face of the earth because we.
It's banned now.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. He said, yeah, it is banned now. Japan, I think, is the only country that still does whaling.
And tells them that.
Yeah. Anyway, most whales will make their trips in groups called pods or herds. Okay? Pods or herds. Like a herd of cattle or whatever. All right. Now we're going to break it down a little bit and talk about a few different ones. You see the killer whale there, or the orca. This guy can reach a length, talking about the orca, he can reach a length of up to 30 feet. Okay? And they are considered the most ferocious of all the animals in the sea. They will travel in packs of 50 or more working together in a hunt.
Wait, and those are toothed whales?
They are a toothed whale. Okay, we're going to talk about it. Oh, it gets good. I'll show you some film on Monday of them.
Why is there a blank or besides the...
Why is there what?
It's asking you what type of whale is this animal is over 30 feet.
Okay. So they hunt together. There's one question on there that's got a blank that really shouldn't have a blank there. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically asking you what they're talking
Okay. Yeah, it shouldn't have a blank there. All right. So they hunt together, and what they do is they surround and they chase sharks, seals, dolphins, penguins, other whales, especially if they can find a calf that is nursing because it's still dependent upon its mother. I know. It sounds cruel. It's the food chain, folks. Okay? And any other hapless creature that they can find swimming in the area, they will first chase the creature, making it very tired, because remember there's 50 of them sometimes chasing this thing, so they can lay some of them can lay back while others give chase, and then others can go in, so they wear it out.
And then they go in.
And make them tired and weak, and then one of them will move in, take a bite, with all the others quickly following. They are like the sharks of the whale world, but most animals fears the killer whale even more than they do sharks. Because these whales, and we've talked about this before, they have been known to kill prey even though they were not hungry. And they didn't eat it, they just kill it and let it go to the bottom of the ocean floor. As well, something else will eat it. But they're about the only animal we know of that will kill just for fun. He will kill just because he can. So he is a ferocious killing machine, okay? The dorsal fin, that's the one on the back, of the orca can extend up to 6 feet above its body. 6 feet. That's a pretty good sized dorsal fin. And because the killer whale swims close to the surface, the dorsal fin can often be seen gliding through the surface of the water.
Have we entered number 5 yet on the case list?
I don't know what number 5
We
is.
have not.
But
They
if
are
we-
the biggest of all the
We
toothed
will
whales.
get, no, we haven't got there yet.
Is a blue whale a toothed whale?
Blue whale is a baleen whale. All right, beluga. He's a fun little creature. All right, the beluga whale, they're really quite an interesting little guy. They're beautiful to see at first glance. They look like a fat white dolphin. Okay? But they don't have a beak. Okay? They do have they have a little melon head looking thing. Okay? We're going to talk about that in a second. They also grow to weigh more than 3,000 pounds. So they get bigger than a dolphin, obviously. But they act a lot like a dolphin as well. They're very friendly towards people. Okay? A beluga whale has a big melon on the top of his head, and he uses that for echolocation. He also has a smooth, finless back, which means he does not have a dorsal fin. Okay, so he has no fin on his back. Okay? A pod of these whales may have 100 of them in it, and they will range in size from 15 to 18 feet long and about 3,000 pounds. So small. When we think about whale, we think about, enormous, but again, they come in various sizes. So he is a whale because he is a mammal.
Good size word. He looks like he's smiling.
Yeah, he does. I've got some film of him. He plays. There's one in an aquarium, and he's playing with kids. He comes up and plays with them. I mean, he's in obviously. All right.
Are we gonna watch it then?
Not today, but we will watch it. All right, narwhals. Everybody loves the narwhal.
People think that somebody said the other day that unicorns existed right before Noah's Ark, and when the flood hit, when unicorns were adapted, some they were dying that God made them.
Well, you know what? People can say anything.
It's so dumb though.
That's not
That
true.
makes no sense.
That's not true. First of all, it doesn't come out of his forehead. Okay, a type of whale called the narwhal actually has a single long horn that looks like the horn that has been drawn in illustrations of the mystical animal called a unicorn. But there is no such thing as unicorns. But the narwhal, which looks remarkably like a gray beluga whale with a horn, is another of God's special creatures in the sea. Okay? This guy's, the narwhal's horn is called a tusk. Think about an elephant, okay? The tusk. Okay? It doesn't actually grow out of his head. It actually comes right out of his mouth. It is actually an extra long tooth.
Really?
Yeah, that's all it is. In fact, some narwhals will have two of these things, and they are called a double-tusked narwhal. Because they got two of these things. Okay? Yep.
Can they break?
Oh yeah, they can be broke. It would take something to break them, but yeah, it can be broke. All right.
Wait, can you go for just a second?
I didn't get the first one.
Okay. I'll come back if we need to. Okay. Double tusk. Okay. Usually, however, the narwhal just has one tusk. It actually grows out the left side of his mouth. Okay. It'll grow out of the left side of his mouth. A narwhal's body can grow to be about 15 feet long, and the tusk can be more than half of that length. So his body might be 15 feet, and his tooth might be another 8. Okay? And he does not use that for hunting. Okay? Because if he speared little fish with that, he'd have no way to eat it. Okay? So that's not what he uses it for. All right, I think the last one we're doing today is the sperm whale. Okay? And then we'll go back. If anybody needs to fill in some blanks, we'll go back. All right. A sperm whale are the biggest of the toothed whales. They will get up to 60 feet long. A sperm whale's teeth can be up to 11 inches. Like that.
Small, Leo.
That's pretty big. That's a pretty big tooth. Okay?
I'm sure there's some that reach this way.
Now, the head of a sperm whale is very long, making up a large part of his body. Okay? Just to give you an idea, you see the tip of his nose? That's his eye. See, his eye is way back here. So his head is almost half of his body is his head.
That's crazy.
Okay? Whalers can tell a sperm whale apart from other whales because its blowhole is positioned so that the water is directly towards the front. So when it blows out, instead of blowing straight up like other whales, it blows out this way. Okay, it kind of blows out towards the front of him. Okay? When sperm whales surface, its spout does not go straight up like most spouts of other whales. Okay? Now, I've already said that. I've been teaching this too long. I get ahead of myself. All right. Everybody got all that?
No.
Okay, take your time. Or hurry up. One or the other. Okay? Pause. God forbid they should go home and pull their reading up online and answer their questions. That would be asking too much. All right. Yep. They're sitting here talking to each other.
Please stop.
It's like, wait. I got to talk to my friend. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, now this is as far as we go. We're not going to talk about balloons. All right, also, sperm whales does not have a dorsal fin. If you notice on the back, he did not have a dorsal fin. Okay, like many other whales do. A sperm whale is generally black, but a white sperm whale may occasionally be born, and if so, he is as an albino. And I'm sure you've heard about the book Moby Dick. That was indeed a sperm whale, an albino sperm whale. Okay, I don't know if y'all read that in high school here or not. If you don't, you should read.
And then Joseph.
It's actually a psychological study, more than just hunting a whale. You're studying about the captain, and he's losing his mind, basically, what's going on. Yes. Yes. The important questions of the day. All right. All right. That's all we're covering today. That's almost a 30-minute video. You will not have one in history though, so that's the good part. Okay, bye.